Um, no thoughts, just vibes. No, man, but jokes aside, I feel like literature provides us with a canvas for us to imagine society and reimagine these things also. So what does a world where these constructs like gender or race or class are appended, and yeah, so that's what literature is really. Yeah, it gives us room for us to imagine and reimagine the world, but also to see the world we currently live in more clearly and with some remove. So we are able to say that's how we live, which on a day-to-day basis, unless you're actively going meta, that's not going to happen. And so I find literature really liberating for that reason. Especially African literature. I feel like there is something about writing from the margin, and Toni Morrison spoke about this, but when you look at the global literary scene, it's almost like the global South does not think, does not imagine, and that's not true. And for me, a huge part of the point of 100 on books is to put books from the global South at the forefront, chiefly African books, but also books from the African diaspora, and not just books, but literary ideas, literary movements from these spaces, and the global South more broadly. So, Asia or Latin America and so on. And to think about what it means for a world, even a literary world that is constructed with the West and the global North in mind, and then to shift from this idea, while still acknowledging that, yes, there is a certain preponderance of certain stories in the world of books, in the world of ideas, and to acknowledge that, but not to have that as the focus. Language animates me, especially this question of English as the primary language in which again literature is imagined, because especially if you're from the Anglophone world, you think of books from non-English speaking countries as books in translation, but where they're from, they're not books in translation. And so that's one of the things I want to contend with, this notion of the Anglosphere as the heart of literary production, and to ask ourselves what it means that sometimes you can have two countries next to each other, like in Africa, that don't read each other because of colonial afterlives, really. You can find 100 on Books on Facebook and Twitter, 100 on Books on YouTube, 100 on Books, and on 8 podcasting platforms. Well, we keep it 100 on Books.